Hi guys, it's Caron here. Welcome to another episode of Caron in the Kitchen. I am Caron, your pampered chef and your cooking instructor for the evening. Hey, tonight I was gonna do two recipes. One was the easy guacamole as the side or the addition to my fast family fajitas. Unfortunately, I had the avocados at home and I didn't check them, so they were not quite ready for consumption. So we're gonna pass on that tonight, and we are just gonna do the fast family fajitas. Thank you guys for joining me for another cooking in the kitchen, and we are gonna get ready and get started. So as you know, if you hear my dogs in the background, please excuse them. For this month, we were focusing on the Rock Crock products. And last time we had cooking in the kitchen, we used the everyday grill pan, and we used the classic casserole. Tonight's featured grill pan is the Rock Crock is the everyday pan. The other featured products for tonight that we'll be using is the simple slicer. We'll be using the garlic press. And of course, we will be using the Santoku knife for cutting, and one of our silicone mats. Now, this pink mat is not something that we have all the time. It is done during our Help with Cancer month. And it's normally where we have our pink products. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this recipe, which of course you can find on Pampered Chef, www.pamperedchef.biz/sweet signatures. If you go there, you'll find this recipe, and I'll have a link to it when I edit the video, so you'll see where you can find the recipe. And the main ingredients, of course, is tonight. Those of you that know me know that I love Pinterest, absolutely love Pinterest. So I went on Pinterest and I found a fajita blend spice mix. So I went ahead and I pre-seasoned the chicken earlier today with that spice blend that I created. Now, in that spice, and let me tell you, it just smells absolutely wonderful. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the first thing. So the first thing we're going to do is with the garlic press. The garlic press, I don't know if you've ever seen or used one of our garlic presses before. When I first used this, my director, Crystal, will tell you, I was just like totally confused as to what the heck I was supposed to do with this thing. But let me tell you, you take one of the challenges that most of us have with garlic is getting it to peel properly. There are a couple of ways to do it, obviously. But let me tell you with the garlic press. With the press, you simply put the entire clove of garlic in there, skin and all, and you press. What I love about the garlic press is twofold. I have a little bit of carpal tunnel in my wrist, in my right hand, and the handle is ergonomic, so I don't really have much issues with using the garlic press. I find it very easy, and it doesn't really bother my wrist with my carpal tunnel. So what you do with this is you put, like I said, the entire garlic clove in there, skin and all, and then you press. And it all comes out. Now I have to press with two hands because I do have a little bit of strength issues in there. And what you'll see is the garlic comes out, it's pressed, it's in minced form, and it's perfect, ready to go into our meal. Now, what happened to the rest of the stuff in here? Easy cleanup. Guys, here's the skin and all. Right there. All in there. Automatically one time. Press the garlic and remove the skin all at the same time. So we're done with the garlic press. The recipe called for 1 garlic clove. Now, of course, as with most things, if you're a cook, if you like more garlic, you can always add more garlic, or whatever your garlic preference is. That's it for the garlic press for this evening. And then the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you about the simple slicer. The the simple slicer is really a 2-part or 3-part product. It comes with the base, and this is where the blade is, right here. And the blade comes with 4 settings if you count the lock. There is a lock on it, and what that does is as you rub your hand over it with the lock, the blade is secure, so you really can't cut yourself with the blade. It's not exposed. The three settings, the other three settings on here, this cuts to a slice of 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, and 3/16 of an inch. And I'll show you each of those cuts in just a second. Now the other thing that you have is the food holder, and simply slides right in here. And this part right here is also used to protect your fingers, so that you, again, in the process of slicing, you do not cut your fingers. Let me adjust the camera a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing at my table side. The other thing about the garlic, the simple slicer, it has these silicone toes, I'm calling them, or the feet, toes, whatever you want to call them. And what they do is that they're non-slip, so they're not going to slip. You can also put, and they have these grooved edges close to the feet. And what you can do with that is, if you're slicing directly over a bowl, you can use them, put them over the bowl, and slice directly into your bowl. I'm going to slice on the mat so you can also see the cut. So the first thing that we're going to do is, I'm not going to cut it. So we're going to simply add the feet. If you look at that, there are tracks on both sides that you just make sure that the handle of the slider goes onto the tracks, because that's important. And then remove the stem from the red bell pepper. And with these little spiky feet, you kind of try to line it up with the center, and you stab it a little bit so that you it's secure in the process. Now I'm going to show you what the 1/8 slice looks like, the 1/16 and the 1/8, so you can see all of the slices, so you can see the thickness. For the fajita recipe, I'm going to probably use the slice 3, but I want you guys to be able to see what all of it looks like. Right now it's in the lock position. You simply put your blade, your handle in, and you unlock it. And it's on the first cut, applying a little bit of pressure, and then you just slide. Okay? This is what a 1/16 cut looks like. Okay? I'm going to adjust it again and show you what a 1/8 cut looks like. Oops. Okay, so here we have a 1/8 slice. And then the last cut we're going to show you is the 3/16. And this is a 3/16 slice on the blade. So that was setting 3, setting 2, and the first setting. Now that I've seen the settings, I think I'm going to leave it at setting 3, and we're going to go ahead and cut these slices. Okay, now as you continue to cut the cut, you pretty much will reduce any kind of waste using this slicer, because it will get all of the vegetable, all of the fruit, all of whatever it is that you are cutting. And there you have it. We sliced it all. So of course, for the fajitas, we are going to cut these in half, slice these a little bit so that cut those off. And we're going to cut these, so these are in what we typically see with stir fry. And we're going to end up doing the same thing to the green onion. Guys, if you have any questions, because this is a live YouTube video, please post them, and I will look up every so often, and I will be able to see, and hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions that you may have. Now, anybody knows me, again, like I mentioned in my first cooking class, I am not a big fan of vegetables, But these make your fajitas smell great, taste great, and even look great. Woo-hoo. It's vibrant with color, flavor, and it's healthy for you. As I mentioned before, guys, you know, one of the tenets of Pampered Chef is bringing families back to the table, and that is one thing, and pretty quickly. So I try to do cooking style. My cooking style is trying to prepare anything in pretty much 30 minutes or less. I didn't pre-prep any of these things before, of course, because I wanted you to be able to see, and you see the tools. How did y'all spend your Saturday? I was out and about today, getting ready for this cooking show. Of course, I get nervous just like anybody else. Yes, I do. And that's all we're going to use for this guy. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're now going to do the green pepper. You guys like green pepper in your food? I do. Again, I'm one of those people that I love to cook with spices, herbs, spices, those types of things, but I'm not a big fan of eating them. I know my mom would hate me to saying that I don't like vegetables. But one of the things that I find with Pampered Chef is I've actually broadened my eating horizon. That came off the track. About the types of things that I do eat, because we always have such awesome recipes. I do try a lot of different things, and my palate really has expanded since I've become a Pampered Chef consultant. So keep that in mind as well. All right, so we're done with the, and we're gonna turn the stove on for just a little bit so that can start warming up. And this won't take us any time at all. There we go. The hazards of having a gas stove. I grew up on a gas stove. I don't know how to use. I don't like an electric flame at all. I prefer to cook with a gas open flame. I just think my food tastes better. I just like the consistency, and it seems pretty consistent to me, of working in an open flame, such as the a gas oven affords. Okay, so we have our peppers done. We have our garlic done, and we're gonna slice a little bit of onions in there so we can have some onion added to our fajita mix. Now this recipe, like I said, is pretty quick, pretty fast, and it should go really quickly. And it made with lots of things that you already have. Most kitchens and households have already stocked, such as you have onions, you have green pepper. May not have red pepper as a standard, some folks. You'll probably have chicken breast. Now, of course, you can also adjust this recipe for, put this back on a 3 setting. You can also adjust this recipe for, it's not going to fit in there. You can also, and add steak, if you wanted to do a little shrimp. And I'm using the Sentoku knife to cut some onion slices. Not too thick, but thick enough that you can actually see it in your dish. Not a big fan of onion either, but I have just about enough. So here we go. Our stove is warming. There's 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, it says, but we're gonna half it. So what we're gonna do is put 1 tablespoon already in the pot, in the rock crock every day. And I told you guys last week in the cooking class that the Everyday Rock Crock you can cook on 5 different mediums. Do you remember what those mediums were? I'll tell you anyway. You can use your stovetop, you can use your oven, you can use the grill, the broiler, and you can use the microwave. Last week we cooked a cake in the microwave and we cooked an awesome pasta dish in the microwave. It was awesome. Okay, so we have 1 teaspoon of oil. We added that to the pot. And I'm going to grab my large kitchen tongs right here. This is a silicone. It's got a silicone slotted spoon head that'll help us toss and stir our food so that we don't scratch our pan. And we'll get ready to get started. Let that oil in the pan a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So here we go. We're going to add some chicken. And again, this has been sitting in the fajita seasoning mix. And we are getting ready to broil this and get it stir frying a little bit. I was watching something today and it says, you know, how do you know when your pot is hot? It gives you that sound when the meat or the vegetables hit the plate. Hit the heated surface. Okay, we're going to let that take on the heat and cook. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to remove that from the Rock Crock Everyday, and then we are going to add our vegetables and get everything going for our fajita. Now this recipe with the four boneless, skinless chicken breasts that the recipe calls for, and that equates to about 4 ounces of protein per person, and the recipe serves about 6 servings is what the recipe says it can. Now if you are on the 21-day diet that I am, you will notice that our portions, our protein, this is what our protein amount is for the day. So this meal right here, and I get what 3 proteins a day. So what we just put in here is sufficient enough. So again, part of my meal prep in place of my 21-day fix menu, I can use this one recipe. This will definitely be, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 meals for me just from this, from 4 4-ounce chicken breasts. So here we go. A lot of our pinkness, we're going to let this stay in here until a lot of the pinkness has evaporated from the meat, from the chicken. And then we're going to move on with the next step. Guys, we're almost done with the recipe. We're almost done with this. And we've just started we've been going for about 20 minutes now. So I'm trying to make sure that we can definitely get in the kitchen, out of the kitchen, and dinner done within maybe 30 minutes. So there we go. Still a little pink in there. I don't think you can zoom in on the, well, you can't zoom in on the YouTube. So I'm going to let this cook for a little bit. And then I'm going to let you see what it looks like in the pan. Alright, the recipe says that we should have this on high heat, which is what we do have. We had poured a little bit, about a teaspoon of oil in our pan. And then we stir fry for about, what does it say, 4 or 5 minutes. And we're not stir frying because we're not using it in that pot. And so you can see. Now I'm using my silicone mitts. So you can take a look at what this looks like. Oh my goodness, that smells delicious. Okay. So we'll continue the cooking process. It's already done. So now we're going to remove the chicken from the rock crock. Keep it a little warm. Of course, you know I'm going to have to cheat, right? Because I always cheat. I always cheat. Ooh, this is going to be hot. Burn myself. Oh my goodness. That is just absolutely delicious. Okay, so what it said, now that we've done that, we add the remaining oil, which is about another teaspoon. We're going to add the pepper mix, garlic, peppers, and onions to the pan. Ooh. And there we go. Stir fry for a little bit. And it says stir fry, but in the language of not using a skillet or a wok, it's pretty much just sauteing is what the term we're gonna use today. So we had all those pan drippings in there. Oh, the flavor is so awesome, you guys. I wish you were here to smell it. Next thing you know, we'll have some smell-o-vision, I hope, sometime soon. Oh, I gotta love that smell. And then we are going to add the chicken back, the onion, the Lipton onion soup packet, some water, and then we'll be almost done with our cooking. This is really smelling incredible, you guys. I really hope you can, I really wish you would have been able to smell this. So we're going to add the chicken back. In the pot. And we have our 1 packet of Lipton onion, onion soup mix. I'm using Great Value. And we need a 1/2 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of salsa. I pre-made the salsa earlier today in the manual food processor. Oops. And I very rarely buy salsa anymore. Again, like I told you guys last week, one of my favorite things to do is to have a little chips and salsa. And I just absolutely love making my own. I'm able to temper the heat, the spiciness of the salsa to what makes me happy. So we put that in there. Now we need to add a cup of water and a cup of salsa. Or 1/2 cup, I'm sorry. So here's my salsa. Here's my salsa. And I'm going to find my 1 cup. This is not the 1 cup. But you'll see that there's a measurement on here for 1 cup. So we'll add 1 cup of salsa. Not there yet. And you notice I switched to my silicone serving spoon. And then I need a cup of water. Guys, that's all it is for this recipe. We're going to let this cook in, soak in, let the juices and the spices take over. Oh my gosh, you should just see this. It's just incredible. And I am going to use it again and show you what it looks like with this fajita mix. This easy, simple family fajita. Ooh. And I'm going to have some cheese. I have some tortillas. Okay, I'm allowed a little bit of cheese on the 21-day fix. Okay, just a little bit. So I'm going to do that. Some cheese, a little sour cream, and call that my meal. So we're going to let that cook and set until it's set for about 2 or 3 more minutes, or until it's settled. And then, guys, this meal is done. If you look at my time, I'm on my counter right now. We are at 26 minutes and 56 seconds. So we have got dinner on the table just about. We will have dinner on the table in 30 minutes. That is one thing that I absolutely love about Pampered Chef. Again, taking families back to the dinner table. We are fixing recipes and meals that can be done in 30 minutes or less. So it is settling in right now, but I do want you to be able to see what our meal looks like. Woo. This is our fajita, chicken fajita. Looks wonderful, tastes wonderful, and we're gonna let that sit for just a few minutes. Guys, if you know anything about the everyday rock crock, and matter of fact, all of our rock crock pieces, they are heat resistant up to 752 degrees, which of course equates to why you can use it in all the different mediums that you cook on it with. And of course, the lid in and of itself is heat resistant up to 400 degrees. So again, you can use this in the oven so long as your oven temperature is not set at more than 400 degrees. Thank you guys for joining me, you guys. I will do a post pic of what the fajitas actually look like when they're finished. And I will post that on my Facebook page. Thank you guys. I hope you guys can join me next week for Cooking in the Kitchen with Caron.